Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's new makeup releases where I am going to chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced and sneak peeked, and I am going to let you know which ones of these things I'm picking up because we have some winners this week. This week is actually really exciting and I cannot wait to talk all about it with you right now. By the way, I did film this look. It turned out more dramatic than I thought when I started, but isn't that like the case with all of my makeup looks? But I did film it and it is coming next week, so I'm actually really excited about how this turned out. And I know every time I wear this dress, people ask me, because it's so beautiful, where it's from. It is at least 10 years old and I bought it at H&M, and I'm sorry, it's beautiful. I wish something similar would be like you could find it somewhere, but I'm sorry, it's old, it's from H&M. Also a little quick announcement that I will be doing a member exclusive live tomorrow, Saturday, for the tier 2 members of my channel. I do have a membership here on my channel where you can get member exclusive tutorials once a month, and if you become a member, you get access to all of my previous tutorials, and there is quite a long playlist. And also, if you are tier 2 or tier 3 of my membership, I do have a monthly Zoom call where we just hang out, chat, and just talk about life. And we are doing one tomorrow, Saturday morning, and I will have all the info in the community tab. So if you're a member, you can check the community tab and see exact info about the Zoom call and everything like that in case you want to join in. And if you are not a member and you want to join in on the Zoom call, you can definitely join before. And again, the info will be in the community tab, visible for everyone that is tier 2 or tier 3. I just wanted to let you know so that you don't miss the Zoom in case you wanted to be a part of it. Okay, let me scoochie and we can start because I'm ready. We have to start with the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. This has been sent to me because apparently it leaked. I don't know, I guess there's some website that put it up. I honestly have no idea. I'm not keeping up. But this has been sent to me at least 15 times, and thank you for keeping me in the loop. But now Natasha Denona herself has announced it, so let's talk about it. It is a new 15 shade palette, so it is a midi palette with it says new nude shades in matte, metallic, sparkling foil, which is that new shimmer formula that she came up with in the Yucca palette. So it is the very sparkly metallic shades, and a new wet effect formula, which I'm guessing is a sparkle topper that's going to give a wet effect on the lid. It's 3D plexiglass inspired by minimalistic architecture. This is $69 like the other new midi palettes. It's coming on August 18th on her website, and you can use my code Angelica and you can get 15% off at the website. I'm excited. I'm excited. So 18th is today. Go in, check it out if you're interested. I have no idea when it's coming to Sephora, but I love Natasha Denona's midi palettes. Yucca is my new favorite palette from her. Is this gonna be my new favorite palette? No, it is a neutral palette. I think that I am gonna feel about this palette as some people feel about the Glam palette. I know the Glam palette, if I'm not mistaken, is her most sold palette or her most popular palette. I have more of a warm undertone, and on me, that palette turns gray. And I don't like gray eyeshadows on me. I've heard from other people that have a very cool undertone that they think the Glam palette is not cool toned enough. But on me, that has a warm undertone, that palette is gray. It's very cool toned. So for me, that's not my favorite. I don't like it on me. So I think that this one, that is more a true neutral palette. It's like the Biba, but make it midi and just update the formulas, because the Biba had really nice mattes, but I didn't think the Biba went light enough. It also was one of her $129 palettes, I think, and it also had the shimmer formula that I think was not her best shimmer formula, honestly. The Biba had really great mattes, but the shimmers were like just traditional shimmers, and these seem to be the updated formulas that she had in Yucca. So I'm very excited to be trying these out. I feel like this is more of a neutral palette. Yeah, a nude palette. So I'm excited. Is this going to be my favorite Natasha Denona palette? Probably not, but I can let you know about the quality. I can compare this and see if this is as good of a formula as she has in the normal midi palettes, because I have quite literally tried think all of them. So I will be trying this out. I will be buying it. I will be trying it. What do you think about this one? Do you think that this is going to be something for you? I feel like we're in this age of a lot of brands are coming out with neutral palettes. Even brands that normally do not do neutral palettes are doing neutral palettes, and I think that there's nothing wrong with that. everything comes and goes in waves, and as a person that loves color, I'm not upset that not every palette is catered towards me. I just, you know, take a seat and I'll wait for my time to come, because there's still definitely a bunch of colorful palettes being released. And also, like, my wallet is thanking me for not wanting everything. I say as I'm still gonna buy this. I'm literally making no sense. But yeah, I will be trying this one out. Let me know what you think about this one. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Tell me. I also wanted to give you a quick reminder that the Chucky and Glamlite collection is back in stock. I think for the last time. They decided to bring it back due to very popular demands. It sold out, it was limited edition, but it is back. The full collection is at stock over at Glamlite. You can use my code Angelica there as well. And you will also get 15% off at Glamlite. So if you were interested in this collab and you missed it the last time, or you want to snag it, I will say the quality of this collection is really beautiful. Again, the palette is leaning very cool tone on me, but I still think that the quality is really beautiful. Maybe you're interested, maybe not, but I just want to let you know that it's back in stock. I cannot begin to explain to you how excited I am about the new palettes that are coming from Unearthly. I did talk a little bit back that Unearthly was doing a mystery box for Halloween, but it's not a mystery box, it is actually a collection. So she has revealed what is in the box, and there will be pictures up on the website. That has been up for pre-sale for a bit, but now I can show you like what that actually looks like, or at least a bit of it. I have it here. Plus she's releasing one new palette that's called Sorceress Smoke, which again, smoky neutral palette. I'm telling you, neutral palettes are coming in hot. And then we have the re-release of Fall Magic, and some shades are the same as the old Fall Magic, but it is a new format, it is a new art on the front, and most shades are new shades. It's just she's taken the feeling of Fall Magic and just going in a little bit of a different direction and doing the more rectangular palette instead. I will most definitely be trying all of this. I'm just telling you right now, my code Angelica works at Unearthly Cosmetics as well, and if I don't receive these in PR, I will be purchasing them. I say as I already have actually bought the Halloween box. I think I paid for that. Yeah, I already pre-bought the Halloween box. That one is a pre-order. All of these are pre-orders. PSA, all of these are pre-orders. None of these are shipping right now, but if you wanted to secure your copy, the pre-order is open right now on the Unearthly website, and these are launches that are coming this fall. I mean, we all knew that Urban Decay was stretching this naked theme to the absolute limit of naked, and now we're at Naked Metal Mania. I mean, we're all confused, right? Look at this palette and then cover the yellow and the purple. It's the naked one, but it's got a new guest stars. It is still a neutral palette, just got 2 pops. So if you like neutrals and you wanted a couple pops, fine, but I don't know. Was this needed? Did we need this? I just feel like it looks very similar to all their other palettes, but again, I guess this is what sells for them. But also on the front there is bright blue and pink, and there's definitely none of that in the palette. I don't know. I guess if you like neutrals, this is a neutral palette with Urban Decay with 2 metallic pops. I can't be excited about this. It's really, really hard. These are available in Europe right now. I guess they're coming soon. I'm finding it really hard to be excited about naked palettes. They often fall a little flat for me. They're just a little lackluster, but also it's the naked theme, so I guess, but I'm like, I don't know. Who is looking like this naked? Someone who rolled in the glitter on the Studio 54 dance floor, maybe, without any clothes on. Maybe that person? Here is a brand that I totally forgot existed. I am sorry, the Balm, but I forgot you existed. This is a new palette from them. It's Miss Nude York. It is taking center stage, featuring 12 sensational shades that bring you from day to night. It's $32. It looks like a neutral palette. That is what the Balm does, honestly. I guess this sells. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not excited. The Balm has a decent quality of eyeshadows. I've tried some palettes from them before. It's not something that I'm like so excited about the brand or the quality so that I would buy this very generic neutral palette from them. But like, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, the Balm. I forgot you existed. And I'll be honest, with this release, I'll probably forget you again in like 2 weeks. I am a little bit intrigued by this. Moira is releasing a Sculpt and Glow duo stick. So it's like a Sculpt bronzing contour shade in one side, and then there is a highlighter on the other side. It's like a cream duo stick. Again, I've told you that I want to try more things from Moira, but I'm not going to make another order from them unless they release an eyeshadow palette, because I want to try their eyeshadow quality. But I definitely will be picking up one of these when I do that order, because I am intrigued in trying this. This could be a great product, like what do I know? It is available already, you can find it online. I don't see a price here, but Moira is very, very affordable, so I'm sure that this will be around $10, I'm guessing. This is a stab in the dark. I don't know this brand enough to make wild claims like this, but I'll link it down below. I did have a full video on the new Kaleidos Alma Viva collection. I did have that on my channel on Wednesday, I think, and I did talk about the fact that I'm actually wearing one of the glosses today. I'll put up some swatches that you can see. I'm wearing Skinny Dip. These glosses are beautiful. They're so comfortable. So beautiful. They don't smell and taste like anything. They're beautiful on the lips, so comfortable. Really, really like them. Love the shades. The quads, beautiful quality, but for me, someone who doesn't love neutrals, I feel like they're too similar to other palettes, quads that I've had before. Some people agree with me. Some people think that, like, as a neutral lover, they think they're different enough so that they can get, like, enjoy them. And I think that's great for you. That's probably what the people developing this makeup also thought. And then we have the blushes. I had a very interesting discussion in the comments of these blushes. Some of them being, I think, missing the point. Some people were upset with me because I said that nobody should be making blushes for fair-skinned people, and that's not what I said, and I don't think anyone really believes that. There's nothing wrong with making blushes for fair-skinned people, but making a collection that has 4 new blushes that only work for fair-skinned people is the very definition of non-inclusive. That's a problem. I'm sorry, that is a problem. You shouldn't do that. Because imagine, their PR list is an international PR list. Their website, they have I do know this from working with Kaleidos in the past, and I love Kaleidos. I just think that these blushes were a little bit of a missed opportunity. I'll talk about that in a bit. Their website, I mean, they're selling both to China and they're also selling to the rest of the world. The website is in English, the kaleidosmakeup.com. It's an English website. Their PR list is very diverse. They have an international PR list. Imagine getting PR from Kaleidos as a person of color, opening your PR box and realizing the brand sent you something that they knew you couldn't wear. They released 4 new blushes and there's no way you can wear any of them. Like, I'd feel sad. I'd feel sad. And even me, someone who is light medium, I'm white, I could only get one of the blushes to somewhat show up on me. And like, honestly, not even that much. It was very faintly showing up on me. But there definitely is a time and a place for blushes for fair-skinned people. And I definitely think, because a lot of people were saying that there is apparently a really big trend right now in China, and I might be paraphrasing here, so I'm very sorry if I'm getting this wrong, but you're supposed to put the blush under the eye as a matte highlighter, but, and I understand that, I've never seen the trend, but like, again, I'm white, I'm from Sweden, it makes sense. I am more following Western like makeup trends, if we're gonna be honest. So there's nothing wrong with that trend. But even if that is so, even if that is the purpose of these blushes, they're still only gonna work on fair-skinned people doing that. They're still only made for fair-skinned people. Wouldn't it have been cool if they took that trend and thought like, how can we make this trend more accessible for an international audience? Because I have a hard time believing that nobody else wanted to try that trend. What about you releasing some matte blush highlighter for other skin tones as well, instead of doing 4 for fair-skinned people? And I'm not even sure that that is what they're meant for, because I went in and I looked at the listings because they're up on the website. I think it's launching today, this collection, and it says that it's meant to give a flush of color. And if you look at the pictures where they're applying, like they have the blush applied, it is applied as a blush on the models, which, mind you, does seem to have very light skin. I just think it's a missed opportunity to do some neutral, cool tone, desaturated blushes for more skin tones than one. Because I'm sure that this concept would have been well executed if they just included a couple of more skin tones into this idea. I would have loved a neutral blush that's a little desaturated, that worked like just a little bit darker so it actually showed up on me. I would have thought that that would have been really cool. And I keep thinking about I have 3 brothers. One of my brother's girlfriend she has a deep skin tone. And when they started dating, I was already doing YouTube, and I asked her, do you want any makeup? Because she has a deep skin tone, and sometimes I get makeup in all skin tones, like get powders or foundations or concealers in all skin tones. And she said, I love makeup, but I'm a little apprehensive because every time I ask for tips about makeup when I'm in makeup stores, they always suggest really bright and bold colors to me. And she's like, I like neutrals. And there seems to be no neutrals made for my skin tone, and nobody is ever recommending any neutrals for me. And I am sure that she is not the only person of color who feels that way. That they are always getting the dark, saturated berry or red, or like, where's the dark neutral blushes? I couldn't help thinking about her when I saw comments coming in that like, oh, but they already have those colorful blushes. And it's like, first of all, those blushes are very white based. They all work on me, but there's only one blush in that range that would work on a darker skin tone, and it is the red. And it's like, maybe 2 of the blushes could have been like neutrals for darker skin tones. I'm sure that that would have been very well received, and it would have been a cool expansion to the blush range, and also something that I'm sure a lot of people of color would have really appreciated, because I keep thinking again of my brother's girlfriend and her just saying that it was so hard for her to find muted makeup that worked on her skin tone because, again, she has a deep skin tone. I tried to give her some stuff though, because she likes makeup, she just doesn't like color. I mean, she doesn't want to be a happy clown. I hope that this makes sense. I didn't want to ramble too much because, you know, I love Kaleidos and I respect the brand, and I'm sure that they were just trying to jump on this trend that is apparently super big in China, and I'm guessing neighboring countries as well. And I'm sure in like people all around the world that like that trend as well. But like, just the way that they executed it just excluded a big part of their consumers. I mean, almost me. And again, I'm white, so I just think that they could have been a little bit more innovative with the range to include even more people in this, I'm guessing, kind of fun trend. This is the season of concealers, because I think I have at least 2 concealers to talk about this week, and I feel like we've been talking about concealers for weeks. Tower 28 is coming up with a concealer, and this is the Swipe All Over Hydrating Serum Concealer. $22, 20 shades. It's launching today, so watching this, check the description box. I think a bunch of these things are available, and I link everything in the description box, and my links are affiliated, so if you do shop through my links, thank you so much for supporting my channel. It really does help out. So I don't know if I need this. Hydrating concealer makes me a little worried, because sometimes that means that it can almost be a little heavy and greasy under my eyes, because I don't have dry under eyes. I just have very fine skin, and like I get a lot of creasing in my under eyes. So I don't know how this is gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna keep an eye on this, and if people love it, I might end up buying it, because that's what I did with the Tower 28 mascara. I saw so many people loving it, and eventually I bought it, and people are right. The mascara is beautiful. We also saw an upcoming concealer from Makeup by Mario, and I think this listing is up on Sephora. Like I said, it will be down below. This is $29. It's also 22 shades, and I'm wondering, medium coverage, natural finish, multi-use concealer that visibly lifts, blurs, and brightens. Is this gonna be sparkly like the foundation? Because the foundation wasn't my favorite. It looks beautiful, but it feels very heavy on the skin, and it's a little bit too dewy for me, and it just doesn't set down. It's just, I need so much powder to set it down. It wasn't my favorite. It was It wasn't my favorite, but I'm kind of intrigued by the concealer. I feel like a makeup artist brand doing a concealer, but again, I'm worried that it's going to be too thick. But maybe I'll need to take one for the team. Let me know how you feel about it. I'll take one for the team if you're very intrigued in hearing how I feel about it. Tell me how you feel. Huda Beauty is also releasing some new stuff. First of all, she's releasing these quads, which is going to be 3 new GloWish micro mini eyeshadow palettes. So she's releasing quads under the GloWish range, which is her more like skincare infused, like no makeup line. Are you interested in seeing me review these? I think they're available August 21st. Do you want to see my thoughts on them? I could pick up maybe the green and see if it's actually like doable. Like, is it a decent eyeshadow quad? Like, is the quality good? Let me know how you feel. She's also releasing some balms, and it seems like the balms are gonna be, some of them are color shifting, but not, I don't think, like the coconut applies clear. It seems to be like a peachy one, but it applies clear. But then there's an orange, transforms to an orangey red. It's a matcha, the green one, transforms to a pink. And then the blueberry, that is the blue one, transforms to a purpley pink. Again, I can take one for the team. Do you want to see if these are any good? Do you want to hear my thoughts about them? Let me know down below. I do really like Huda Beauty's products, and overall I think she releases really awesome stuff. So I'm like, let me know. Me and my friends giggled at this when we saw, because Merit is coming up with eyeshadow. It's single eyeshadows, solo shadow, cream to powder, soft matte eyeshadow. Okay. They released this absolutely ridiculous thing on their Instagram. You should really go in and look at it. It is like, they're making it sound like they're solving a problem for people. Oh, eyeshadow is so hard, eyeshadow is so complicated, and they're like, we're solving this problem. They didn't invent single shadows that you can just use one shadow and smudge it out. They didn't invent that. They didn't even invent cream to powder single shadow. Like, Colourpop Super Shocks have been around for 7 years, 8 years. Like, they've been around for a really long time. So sometimes it's so cringy when brands, they're like making little infomercials that's making it sound like they really went and did something. It is a cream to powder single shadow. I think the colors are interesting. And I guess it is an interesting way of introducing eyeshadows to a line that is basically built on no makeup and like fuss-free makeup. So I appreciate that, but go and look at the reel on Instagram. It's a little cringy. It's a little cringy. I'm sure these are going to be beautiful, like quality though. They're available on the 22nd at Sephora. $24 each though. I mean, I get it. A single shadow. I mean, one shadow. I think that sometimes this is like information that goes just over people's heads. It's not. If you produce a single shadow for $10, it does not mean that a 10 pan palette is going to be $100. That's not how that works. And I see sometimes people saying like, oh, I wish they would have cut this palette in half and just charged half. That's just not how that works. There is a startup cost for producing the palette, like developing the shadows, shipping, staff, all of that. It's not just, you're not just paying for the amount of product that goes into a palette. So I realized that a single shadow is always going to be more expensive than like a quad. But $24 for one shadow, I think you could just like, I don't know. That's a lot. Again, the Super Shock shadows, they're also a cream to powder single shadow. And I think they're $6-7. Might be more, but they're definitely not 20 plus. Quick announcement, Makeup Revolution has announced that they are doing a collab with Pink Ladies from Greece, which I think is exciting. I wonder what it's gonna be. The picture that they had a little reel on their, where did I put this? Yeah, I took it from Instagram. They had a little reel. It seemed to be like pink and red, and I love pink and red together, so I'm like, maybe this could be something. I love Greece. I kind of want to watch Grease now. I wish I could watch Grease right now. Such a nice movie. When I was a kid, we're talking 13, 14, 15, We used to watch Grease, me and two friends, every weekend together. This, like, I feel like that was just like, I just remembered something that I almost forgot from my childhood. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up, and unfortunately one of those girls passed away in cancer a couple of years ago. We used to watch Grease all the time together. I don't even know how many times I watched that movie, and I kind of want to watch it right now. Mania Cosmetics has now revealed, and I think she is releasing it today, the new palette Forget Me Not. This is a 16 pan palette, which is an all-in-one palette. Her pans, I'm actually wearing a Mania Cosmetics palette today. I'm wearing the Sugar and Grunge. The pans are bigger than these pans, so you're supposed to be able to put like a brush in there as well to contour and bronze and like all of those things. My palette still has not arrived as I'm filming this, and I'm a little, like, my schedule is full. Had this palette arrived a little bit earlier, I would have had a dedicated video, but I'm not going to be able to do a dedicated video now. I don't have time. I'm sorry, I don't have time. That's what happens sometimes when PR just ends up getting in a little bit later. It's also like a neutral palette. I'm sure there are people out there that like are more into neutrals and bridal makeup, because this is meant to be like a little bridal inspired, that will do dedicated videos, but I think it is releasing today on the 18th. Yes, it is releasing today. I think it's available in just a couple of hours, and you can use my code Angelica and get some money off. Love the Mania Cosmetics quality, and I'm interested to see if this is the same quality in these pans, because her quality is very, very pigmented. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's as pigmented when it's meant to be like a multi-use palette. There's also a brush set that's released in this collection. I am intrigued by this release. And I think that had I still been working as a freelance makeup artist, I would have been dying over this palette, because I will be honest, as a makeup artist, this is all people wanted. This is all they wanted. Had I just had this in my kit and all of my light-based products, foundations, like, I probably would have been fine. Nobody was asking for blue eyeshadow. Nars is releasing a new lip product, and this is the PowerMatte High Intensity Lip Pencil. This is a potency meets precision with the lip pencil, fully loaded matte lip formula charged with 12 hours staying power. I'm wondering if this is another addition to their lip range, or if this is going to be instead of the lip crayons that they had before. I'm guessing the latter, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that the shades are beautiful, but they're pretty generic, and I don't think I need a new lip formula in a generic color right now, though that like orangey red looks really beautiful, but I have colors like that. If you love Nars lip products, maybe this is for you. I think I'm gonna opt out. Ooh, another lip product is from Milk Makeup, and this is the Odyssey Lip Oil Gloss. So it's like a gloss and lip oil hybrid, I guess. It's available for 8 shades, $26 each. It is available at Milk Makeup, but it's coming at Sephora. Oh, it's available at Sephora as well. What I really like is the colors in this range. I think this is one of those things that I need to see in store, and I also need to feel the consistency, because they're calling it an oil gloss. Does that mean that it's a little stickier than an oil, or does it mean that it's just having a little bit more substance and volume than an oil? These are the things that I think I need to try myself, but the black and that like almost grayish color, they look so cool. And I know that a bunch of my friends got sent this in PR. I should probably just ask them, like, what did you think about the formula? Do you think I'm gonna like the formula? Because I really like the color range. It's very unique. Adept Cosmetics has showed their upcoming palette. It's coming this fall. It's called a Samarian Sunset, and it is a Star Trek themed palette. Live long and prosper. I love Star Trek. Absolutely adore Star Trek. The shimmers are multi-chromes and 100% glitter talc free, and there's a one halo multi-chrome. Oh, it says Mog is misspelled on this palette in this photo, but the spelling will be correct by the launch. I like Star Trek. I am a Trekkie. Have I watched all the series and all the movies? No, but I thoroughly enjoy it. Even in the palette that I did with Kaleidos, Club Nebula, I had the shade that was called 7 of 9. Should I buy this? There is a row of mattes, and I actually really enjoy the mattes from Adept. Let me know how you feel about this one. Should I try this? Let me know how you feel about it. It's probably going to be really expensive, because I will say Adept Cosmetics, because of the quality of their shadows, like the shimmers have a lot of multichrome particles. They're usually a little bit more expensive. I can't find a price, but I'm guessing 100 and something. That's what I'm guessing. But I mean, if I could spend that on another brand, I might as well just spend it on an indie brand as well, especially if it's Star Trek inspired. Let me know your thoughts. Should I try it? Yes or no? Let's end this with talking about the collab between is it MOB Beauty or is it Mob Beauty? I'm not 100% sure. I think it's MOB. Maybe it's Mob. Oh my god, tell me if I'm wrong or not. They're doing a collab with Roseandben, or like Rose, but her Instagram account is Roseandben. They're doing a collab together, and I don't watch Roseandben, so I'm not 100% sure about the backstory to this palette, because it is like you see 2 yellows and 2 peaches and 2 pinks and 2 terracottas, and it is a cream and a powder, a cream and a powder, a cream and a powder, and then the 2 bigger pans in the bottom are like encapsulated sparkle balms or something. I went into the website and read about this. You can buy these as singles, you can buy the cream ones, the cream and the corresponding powder as a duo as well. This is pretty expensive. I think it's like $150 almost. I don't really understand, like for me, this looks like a corrector palette for a makeup artist. I don't see a lot of makeup looks myself looking at this. Maybe this color, like this photo is very desaturated, but I mean, this is also a marketing photo, so it should show the true colors. But I'm like, for me, this is not something that I would want to work with, but also I'm not familiar with her work. So maybe this palette makes 1,000,000% sense if you're actually like watching her videos. You will be like, oh, this makes so much sense about all the things that she's talking about. But for me, this is a pass because I don't know what I would do with this. And it's also $150. I'd rather buy that Star Trek palette. But I would love to hear your thoughts about this. Like, how do you feel about this? Are you excited? Do you watch her channel? I would love to hear all about it. Let me just double check so we didn't miss anything super spectacular. And no, I think we are okay. But yeah, let me know which things you are the most interested in. There's a couple of things here. I feel like this is one of the more exciting episodes that we've had in a bit. I really want to get the Natasha Denona palette. I'm thinking about that Star Trek palette. Honestly, it looked really, really cute. The concealers are very, very enticing. That Huda Beauty release could be really fun. Like, yeah, tell me all about it. What do you feel about this? Maybe you're interested in the Urban Decay even. Like, even though I'm not, it doesn't mean that nobody else is. And I will say, the glosses from Kaleidos, absolutely, absolutely stunning. And yeah, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I love reading your comments, but let's try and keep it respectful. Remember, we are adults and we can always talk to each other without being mean to each other. And don't forget to subscribe as well before you leave, because I will have another video on Monday, or if I'll see you tomorrow in my live, of course, if you're a member. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day and I will see you then. Bye!